Hello, welcome to my channel. Whether it's a lot to tell or TikTok, this is like a second version of the Adult Protection Services Part 2. And I'm hoping I remember to put that in my box when I post the video. It's kind of weird that the Adult Protection Services or Adult Protection Agency is not allowed to investigate patients when they're in the hospital. When they're in the hospital, that's when a lot of stuff can go wrong, or either in a nursing home. But I was told they don't have jurisdiction. They could have went to the hospital, checked on my sister, saw the blisters, saw the sores, saw that she was being mistreated. But for some reason, hospitals and nursing homes are exempt from the Adult Protection Services or agency when it's their job to look after and protect. And that's why they call the Adult Protection Services, to protect those that are being abused, neglected, and hurt in a hospital or a nursing home. Let me give you a good example of what happened to me in 2017 during Hurricane Harvey. We had a lot of issues going on, a lot of water, flooding. We got low on money going into savings, trying to keep water, gas in the car. Couldn't move, couldn't do anything because there was too much water. I called the Adult Protection Services asking for help, emergency help. Maybe they knew organizations that I didn't know, trying to take care of my sister, being that she was disabled and speech impaired. But the weirdest thing happened. The agent that they sent to my house was saying that I was being neglectful towards my sister because we ran out of funds. So the weirdest thing that she did was had the nerve to call my boss and had me fired. That made no sense whatsoever, because if we already low on funds from the savings, why would you make me lose my job when it's my job that was bringing extra resources in the house? I cried about it, didn't know what to do about it. My boss called me and said that she told me I was no longer qualified to work for her company anymore. I never heard of that before. But God didn't let me stop right there. So I sent a message to, I suppose, was her supervisor. But because it was on a day when they was closing, nobody was responding. But I left a message anyway. And what shocked me was a few minutes later, her supervisor calls me saying that her calls were able to transfer from the department straight to her cell phone. And when I told her what happened, she got off the phone, said she was going to call me back. When she didn't call me back, I called the office again because they wasn't exactly closed yet. And this man says, what in the world did you say to our boss? Because she's in there angry, mad, and upset, talking with the person that had me fired. So when he finally transferred me over to her, the supervisor explained that her agent abused her authority by having me fired when she was supposed to just investigate the case like I asked her to ask them for help. Now, I'm thinking everything's good, cool, and collected. The supervisor was able to get my job back. But then the supervisor said, oh, yeah, we can help you. And we can get you out of the flooded area. We can even put you in a hotel. They put us in a hotel for like a week. And then she said she needed everybody's personal information in order to try to relocate us to another home. The thing is, after I gave her all of that information, I hadn't heard from her anymore. So I called and I said, the week is almost over for the hotel. What do we do? Were you able to help us to get another place to stay? Any of that? And she told me she didn't know for certain yet, but she'll get back with me. Another week passed. Somebody else paid for the extra week in the hotel. And I called her again. And she said she didn't remember getting my information or trying to find and relocate us somewhere else. I said, no, I did give you all of my information, and I'm trying to figure out why aren't you helping us now? And I said, if I have to, I'm going to go above your head and I'm going to report it. And she tells me on the phone, I'm going to close out your case. Trust me. Don't know where that came from, why it happened. And what was the purpose of getting our information when you were not going to help us anyway? So I did make the statement to her that you got our information, you got the funds on behalf of me and my family, and ain't no telling how many others, and didn't do what you said that you were going to do. So instead, she closed the case. So I'm just trying to say adult protection services or agencies need to be given more authority to go to these hospitals and nursing homes, not be pushed away where they can't do it anyway. In other words, they said no jurisdiction. That's where y'all really need to be. Now, don't forget, we've had problems with CPS, Children Protective Services. How do we have problems with that? They'll go and investigate the case, keep the children for a while, send them back to the homes. And I've heard numerous times, you can do your research, that a lot of kids have gotten more abused, hurt, or killed because they didn't fully investigate the case. They took the people at their word when they were supposed to be protecting the children. I say the same thing. If you're going to protect the children, you need to protect the elderly and the disabled that cannot speak up for themselves. That's why we, the family members, have to be the advocates, because evidently they have no jurisdiction over hospitals and nursing homes where people get hurt the most.